Alright guys, welcome back to the first video of 2021. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe by hitting the red button down below. And what we're going to talk about today are the 5 things that I'm expecting from Apple for 2021. And I've done this video at the end of 2019 for 2020. So back to this video. So the 5 things that I'm excited about, and these are in no particular order, and these are just my predictions of what I'm expecting from Apple this year. So the first thing is going to be dual LED Macs, MacBook Pros, and tablets such as iPad Pros, iPads, and then the iPad mini series. You might be wondering, what is dual LED? So dual LED is a new technology that has come up recently, and the best way to describe it is it's almost as sharp as the OLED panels that are found on the iPhones, but they get a little bit brighter than the current OLED panels, as well as it's a little bit more cheaper to produce. Now that's a good thing for us consumers, because what's going to happen is those savings will be passed down to the consumers. It might not be thousands of dollars, it might just be a few $100s, but at the end of the day, if you could save a couple $100s, you might think of an Apple laptop compared to some other products. So the number 2 thing that I'm personally excited for is going to be the new M1 chips, which are going to be the higher performance models. And a lot of people are mentioning that it's going to be called the M1X, but from what I have seen from Apple, I think they're going to call it the M1 Pro series. The intention of these chips are specifically designed for, the professional creatives that use Apple apps, as well as certain Adobe apps, and they're not going to be for the everyday users. I think the M1 chip with the 16 gigs of RAM is going to be more than enough for, I'd say, 80 to 90% of the people. And from what I have seen online with the current M1 setups and what people are experiencing in terms of the performance, which is definitely a lot faster than what they were experiencing on their Intel models, I can only expect a performance to be much faster on the M1 Pro series. And I can't wait to have it on channel and show you guys what the difference is between the M1 chips and the M1X or the M1 Pro chips. So let me know in the comment section what you think about the M1 chips. Are you planning on buying it? Or do you want to wait a couple of generations before you make the leap into that M1 chipset? Personally, I've ordered the M1 Mac Mini with 16 gigs of RAM. It's supposed to come at the end of January / first week of February. So I'm really excited to have that on the channel, and make sure you don't miss that, because I'm going to be doing an unboxing as well as a review for that particular chipset. So make sure you subscribe by hitting the red button down below. So number 3 thing that I'm personally really excited about is going to be, and I'm hoping that Apple actually pulls this off, is the redesigned iMac series. Now, I made this prediction at the end of 2019 for the 2020 year, and I think Apple kind of resisted from doing a redesign because they wanted to wait for and see how the M1 chips work, rather than releasing an Intel model in mid-September and then 2 months later changing it to Apple Silicone. So what my predictions are, in 2021 we're going to see a redesign of the iMac, and I'm hoping to seeing the display similar to the Pro XDR. It's not going to be as sharp, it's not going to be as high quality. I'm expecting it to have very small bezels, kind of like the Pro XDR, as well as a lot of USB-C ports at the back and some legacy USB-A ports as well. So the number 4 thing that I'm personally excited about and I'm predicting for 2021 from Apple is going to be the iPhone 13, or if they're going to change the name from the 13th to the 14th, is Apple is going to hopefully give us a 120 Hz refresh rate. If not, then at least 90 Hz refresh rate. Now, there might be some theories why Apple didn't introduce that in 2020, and a lot of people are hinting at production not being able to ramp up due to coronavirus. But in my personal opinion, I think it's a marketing gimmick that Apple will use for that iPhone 13. I think that in the iPhone 12 Pro Max, they kind of wanted to have 5G and use 5G as a huge marketing tactic to sell their iPhone 12 Pro Max, and reserve that that screen refresh rate for the next model. So in 2021, I'm expecting an iPhone 13, or whatever they're going to call it, in the Pro series, to have a very high refresh rate. I think 90 Hz is what they might go with, but if they go with 120 Hz, that'll be really nice. But there's going to be some redesign changes to the battery, as well as the battery life that it consumes. I really hope it's going to be a true and native 120 Hz refresh rate, which is always on, rather than changing up as depending on the task or the applications that are being used. Now, another reason why I think that Apple didn't go with that in the 2020 models will have to do with the fact that they wanted to cut as much cost as possible, introducing the 5G chipset and not being able to bump up the price quite significantly to the point that the consumers might not be interested, which is another reason why the iPhone 12 Pro Max isn't more costly than the 11, And that's because they got rid of the charging brick as well as the headphones, which I personally don't really mind because I bought the charging brick separately, as well as for the headphones, I rarely use it. I have the Apple AirPods Pro. So now on to the fifth and last thing. Is not really a product from Apple. What I'm expecting from Apple and the Tim Cook team is a huge development and a huge dive into a lot of different services. We've seen that in 2020 with changes to Apple TV, where they're offering more exclusive content, as well as with the Apple Fitness app. I think they're going to keep on developing the Apple Fitness app with more workouts, as well as implementing things with the watch and the fitness app, so they're a little bit better than what it is right now. I think it's just at the beginning stages, and I'm very excited to see where Apple takes this. But what I am talking about is going to be Apple Music, and I really do hope that Apple looks into this, and I really hope that Apple introduces kind of like a surround sound feature with the current albums that are available on Apple Music. And this kind of goes to where Tidal is. Tidal has a very exclusive service. For that amount, you get the Dolby Atmos experience, which is the highest quality streaming experience for the music files. You can download them, you can listen to them, and there's a noticeable difference between listening to stuff that's on Spotify and Apple Music to what's on Tidal because of the higher file size and the different codec. So I really do hope that Apple introduces that into their music service. That way people who have AirPods Pros and AirPods Max to be able to utilize their spatial audio feature, and currently that's only available on the Apple TV certain series. That's pretty much it for the 5 things that I'm expecting from Apple in 2021. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are about this particular video, as well as things that you're expecting from Apple for 2021. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the future videos that are coming, such as the reviews for the Mac One Mini, the unboxing, as well as my new setup for 2021 with the new display, which I'm really excited to share with you. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.